All right, now we're going to look at the crypto markets. So we'll still start with the SPY and the NASDAQ. I won't bother with the Dow or the Russell. So we have hit the ascending support. It could hold for a while, for several days at best. I don't think we're going to go much higher than 400. I think this is an opportunity to sell any rallies. And again, this is an ascending line. So this is the weakest type of chart pattern, in my opinion. So if you do start to climb this ascending line, as soon as you lose it, you're straight away testing the lows and most likely going to drop to what I think is more formidable support, which is low 370s, 372-ish on the SPY. So I think we're going to go sideways and or down. And the NASDAQ, very similar. It's actually weaker. So it's already lost its ascending support, which means to me ascending line becomes extra resistance. So not only will 302-ish become resistance, 302 to 305, not much of a move between 302 to 305, but also the actual ascending support, which would have been support, now becomes resistance. And by the time we get there, it'll also coincide with around 302 to 305. So basically, this zone here, if we rally up there, is a sell zone. At the moment, I've got this circle for the general support on the way down. So if we do actually move up, which could happen, a little counter trend rally, how much percent is that? 2, 3, yeah, max 4, and then back down, test the lows, and then flush. So sideways to down overall is what I think is going to happen with the SPY and the NASDAQ. The Dow and the Russell, same thing. They all have the same chart patterns, although they tend to have held their ascending support. Now, I do cover the DAX. You wouldn't normally relate the DAX to crypto markets, but the DAX, in my opinion, is influencing or should influence the major US markets, and the US markets own the crypto markets at the moment, at least. And it's been the case for a while, especially the NASDAQ. So I think DAX ended the day okay. Obviously, it's awful overall. We're at triple flush, triple bottoms never hold, and we're at the lows of the triple on the daily chart. And we closed green up, but that was before the US markets did their thing. And what did they do? Well, they closed red. So I think a bit like what happened yesterday, because remember, this was a great, was it Friday close? I remember it was 3.33% up, which is pretty strong, although it was expected on that day. And then Monday straight away down. US markets were closed, but down because of the awful news over the weekend, just continuation of the situation, inflation, interest rates, commodities, gas, oil, Europe screwed. So what's going to happen, in my opinion, is the DAX will go lower to make up for what US markets did, but also to continue the general pattern and basically close near 12,600, maybe below. I mean, if that happens, that would be pretty significant. How much of a move is that? 2%. Yeah, a 2% move is pretty decent. So if we close near or especially below 12,600, I mean, that's it for me. That's the next test is 12,400, and that will have a lot of stops. A lot of people will watch it, and I think that would almost guarantee a flush, and down we go. And what would that mean? That would mean whatever rally, potential rally we've got going on here, bar some sort of news that comes out, I don't know, peace treaty in Ukraine, or and those sanctions eased, some big news like that could change things, but I don't see that happening. So yeah, if the DAX starts to go lower, close very low, I think the NASDAQ, let's just look at the NASDAQ because I'm supposed to be talking about cryptocurrencies in this video, will go lower, you know, start moving down towards 280. And what would that mean for cryptocurrencies? Let's finally move on to that. Well, very simply, it means testing 17,500 and probably going lower. A 4% move down in the NASDAQ from where it is would probably equate to an 8% or more down move in Bitcoin. What did Bitcoin actually do? Well, it did what I thought it would do. So let's zoom in 15 minutes and then zoom out. This zone here, we saw it was holding, but very weak. I knew the markets were going to go down or stay weak at least. And you could see it was just hitting this floor with lower highs. And then, you know, if we just zoom out, and the 1 hour is probably the best for this. Let's just chill here for a second. As soon as we took out this ascending support, it pretty much guaranteed a test of 19,000-ish, right? Because this zone here is sort of support. So to me, yeah, okay, we went to the first support zone, and you can check my previous videos. We nailed this also. So yeah, we went sideways. This was during the weekend, I think. Then the US markets were closed on Monday, so I didn't expect any crazy action. So we held sort of 20,000, but you know, now that the US markets are open, now that the markets are still going down, there was this flush, and you can see this stop loss triggering. It is just perfect technical or high frequency trading, stop loss hunting, whatever you want to call it, but it worked, you know. If you had a stop loss, some people don't like stop losses because you get taken out and then it comes all the way back up. Yeah, here it would have been wise to do it. And also, yeah, sometimes the stop losses get triggered, it goes all the way back down and comes back up, but then a few days later it goes back down again. So long term, it's still worth it. You could have probably got a better sell if you wait for it to come all the way back up and you can sell higher. But you know, if medium term it goes all the way back down anyway, if you're on a holiday, you get stopped out and it goes back up and it comes back down, it's still worth it. But here there could be a bit of a bounce, but I think we will continue lower. And if, like I say, the DAX stays weak, the US markets stay weak. Anyway, Bitcoin's been underperforming for a while, and I'm talking about weeks, because when the SPY, when the US markets rallied really high, you know, that crazy 20% move. I'm not going to go back to the SPY. Wow. You know, when we were doing this, what is it here? This crazy move up here, and all the indices did it. Look at this wild 20% move up. I think the Nasdaq probably did more. Bitcoin only managed from 70,500 to 25,000. And during this crazy move up, it was not even taking out 25,000, just hitting its head around that zone. And then as soon as the market started going down, this flushes. So it doesn't go up, but does go down. Of course, it's going to go down when the markets go down. So I think we test 17,500, especially if the markets stay weak. And then we've spoken about this before. And then it's the next zone of support, which is around about this area, 14,000, 12,000 to 14,000. I know some people have said 10, some people say 6-ish. Yeah, it'll stop off at levels higher than that before. But I don't think it stops until the market stops. But this will be the best asset to own on the way up. I think everyone can agree to that. Even if long term it fails, I don't think that's the case, but it's going to have one hell of a bounce. So a bit of a move today for Bitcoin, a move down. We saw it coming, coincided with the markets. The markets will stay weak, and this should go to 17,500. And when it gets there, even on the same day, it could flush, because Bitcoin has a tendency to over-exaggerate its moves on the way up and on the way down. And if we look at Ethereum, it's kind of outperforming, right? Only down 2%, unlike Bitcoin's 4%, although Bitcoin dominance is technically up for the day. You look at some other altcoins, they're mostly down more than Bitcoin is. Obviously, I don't follow all of them, but some major ones, I guess. Ethereum being the major alternative. But yeah, I think again, if Bitcoin goes down to 17,500, we start to move around 1,000 in Ethereum, which is quite a drop from where it is. About 30% or something. So yeah, that's the crypto markets. I will quickly go over the crypto miners. The one I own, HIVE, very light position because I sold it on the way up. Today, I think there was a offering, $100 million ATM offering, so that got destroyed more than others, which I don't mind because I want to buy this back very cheap. Maybe low threes start to add back what I sold up here, and then I had a small position down here anyway. I really want to build a position in the absolute lows, so I can endure all the negative news unless it starts to go bankrupt and I'm just losing money for nothing. So, but my plan is to diversify amongst other crypto miners. So I would also enter Mara, very similar chart. Obviously, they're not as down as Hive today, although they did close towards the end. I think they did flush quite a bit. Um, yeah, they had a weak day, but again, I'm looking for that test of the real lows with Bitcoin at 17,500. So Mara looking for low sixes, Riot, under five. I'm not going to go into MicroStrategy or Coinbase. I use that as a sort of barometer, but not something I want to own because I don't find it to be a real miner. HUT 150-ish, maybe start a position. Bitfarm is already at its zone, so you can expect that to make new lows. So 50 cents. Wow, these things are gonna get real cheap. And also this German stock here that my brother brought to my attention, NB2, that a bit like Bitfarm has already made new lows. So if I do end up buying that, it would be in the 12s or low 11s. And again, it would be kind of a light position waiting for it to curl to maybe add more, depending on what the general sector is doing and the general markets as usual. So that's it for the crypto world. Weak, looking for more weakness. Long-term bull, short-term bear. Follow the Nasdaq and actually follow the DAX. I don't think the dollar or the interest rates is worth following, although that does obviously influence markets. No need to have too many charts in front of you. I think the Nasdaq, if you're buying Bitcoin or Bitcoin miners, I think the Nasdaq, Bitcoin, and the miners all you need. Don't overdo it. Don't overdo technical analysis. I don't like to have all these lines all over the place. It's just the major ones. And then maybe the day you want to buy, you just zoom in and get a bit extra detailed just for a better entry. But otherwise, keep it simple. Trend is your friend. The trend is down. Good luck. Thank you.